Welcome back, everybody. More NFL Films music for you. We're going to move on to the best of the week. And, I don't know. Do you guys like this music? We'll see. I don't know. I like it. But we're going to move on to the best of the week, and some of these will be interesting for you because I think it's very, very interesting. Like, we're going to turn this off. Boom. It's very... The best of the week, it varies. Every week it changes. But this week we had a good week. Somewhat. Not really. But we had a decent week. So let's move on to what I think were the top three things for the week. Number one, Patrick Mahomes. For those of you who have not been paying attention, this kid has been lighting it up. 13 touchdowns in 3 weeks. That's an NFL record, by the way. For the first 3 games of his career. That's an NFL record. He's astounding. Puts on a clinic. He sat there and he's like, I might be a first-year player. I might be a second-year player. But Phillip Rivers, I'm going to tell you how you have to do your job. Ben Roethlisberger, I'm going to show you how you should do your job. Again, week 3, him and Jimmy G had a good back and forth for some part of the game. But Jimmy G got hurt. And that ultimately led the Chiefs to winning that game. The Chiefs got shut down by the 49ers defense at the end of that game, which is why I picked that game as the game of the week last week. Because I knew at one point or another, the 49ers defense would shut down the Chiefs. Richard Sherman had a game. He played well before he got hurt. Jimmy G played well before he got hurt. And you can tell the team misses Jerick McKinnon. But we're going to get there. We're going to get there. But Patrick Mahomes, this kid, over the first 3 weeks of the season, has been absolutely amazing. Nothing short of phenomenal. And a lot of people want to sit there and be like, oh, but he's young. He'll learn. He'll be even better later. No. This kid's great already. But when people overblow it and say that he's the second best quarterback in the league talent-wise, go home. I never want to hear that again. For those of you who've been watching ESPN for years, Max Kellerman joined First Take. And he comes out here and says, I'm taking Mahomes over everybody except Aaron Rodgers. Excuse you? You're also the guy that said Saquon Barkley was the second best running back in the game. He's nowhere close. He's not better than Joe Mixon. He's not better than David Johnson. I wouldn't even put Saquon over Ezekiel Elliott yet. But that gap's closing with how Elliott's been playing. So I don't want to hear that. But we're not going to go there. Mahomes is a stud. We know that. He will be great and will continue to be great. And we just have to see where the Chiefs' offense falters. That's the biggest question right now. But he was the best part of Week 3, by far. I don't know who the players of the week were last week. I can look that up for you. Players of the week. I don't know who they were. And I'm going to see what I can find. So it looks like... Why did Big Ben win? That's my big question. How come he won the AFC Offensive Player of the Week? The big bum won. Drew Brees, I understand. Matt Milano, yeah, I understand that one too. Obata, F.A. Obata for the Panthers, won Defensive Player of the Week for the NFC. Tucker and Countess. I don't get these sometimes. Whatever. Mahomes didn't win last week. I think it was just getting old. But, whatever. Let's move on to the next one. And the next reason of why this is the best of Week 3. Like, the one reason why this is the best is because it's better than every sport. It's the only sport that continuously has it. maybe with the exception of college football, which also has it. So I'm just going to relate it to football. Football has this. Something called intrigue. What is that word? What is that word? Intrigue. It's why you keep watching. You don't know what's going to happen until it happens. This isn't the NBA. Because we all know who's going to be in the finals in the NBA 9 months from now. We all know it. It'll be the Warriors and the Celtics. That's guaranteed. Book it. Guaranteed. Do you know who's going to be in the Super Bowl this year? You can guess, but I doubt you'll get it right. Nobody had the Eagles going to the Super Bowl last year when Carson Wentz went down. But everyone had the Patriots because no one was better than them. We knew the Patriots were going to go. Okay? Last year is the exception for the NFL. We knew the Patriots were going to go. But everyone was sitting there throwing around the Steelers as if they were some elite team, only for them to get knocked out in a one-and-done. Nobody had Jacksonville at the beginning of the season going to the championship game. Nobody did. So, we don't know who's going to the Super Bowl this year. But the reason why Week 3 was so great with intrigue was because we had like 6 upsets. Nobody thought the Bills were going to run over the Vikings in Minnesota. Nobody knew that. Nobody thought, well, I guess some people thought the Redskins would upset the Packers. People thought the Jaguars were going to roll over the Titans. I was the only one that was like, I don't know about that. But I had the Jags winning. Nobody thought that Detroit had the team to beat the Patriots. Nobody did. That's why it's so good. That's why the NFL is the most intriguing sport and best sport in America. Baseball's too long, and the NBA's boring. I'm sorry if you're a fan of the NBA and watching this show, but the NBA's boring. Your sport's boring. The NFL's intriguing. Week 2 was one of the best weeks I've ever watched. It was amazing. Week 3, as much of a bummer as it was, is the reason we watch. I mean, you don't go into the NBA season thinking, or the NBA postseason thinking the Miami Heat are going to be in the finals. Nobody thinks that because they're one of the worst teams. They're not that good. They're not going to make it to the finals. But everyone sits here and wants to say the NBA Finals is the best final sporting event in America. No, it's not. How? How? The Warriors have won back-to-back. And it took a total of 9 games. So you mean to tell me the Warriors are 8-1 in the last 2 finals? Huh. Interesting. Meanwhile, Philadelphia won its first Super Bowl title, and the backup quarterback beat Tom Brady. Which one sounds more interesting to you? The NFL wins in a landslide, I'm sorry. Don't get mad at me because I'm bashing the NBA. I'm sorry. I'm sorry your sport isn't better. It's not my problem. It's not my problem that your sport is boring. The other thing that was best about Week 3 were the 3-0 teams that we got out of it. Now tell me if you thought these teams were going to go 3-0 at the beginning of the season. I'll start with the least surprising one, the Los Angeles Rams. Even I didn't think they were going to be 3-0. I didn't. Let's look at their wins. See, I thought when healthy, the Chargers would beat them. And that game was close. Let's be real. The game was close. I thought they would beat the Cardinals, but I also thought John Gruden would have kept Khalil Mack like a competent person and would have beat the Rams. And that game was close, too. But the Rams are 3-0, and it's because of that team. That team's good. Now, who knows what they do tonight? And we'll get to my pick tonight, later. But the Rams aren't that surprising. You know what else isn't surprising? The Chiefs. I mean, they're surprising to me because I thought the Chiefs were not going to go 3-0. Let's look at the Chiefs' schedule. They were going to beat the Chargers. I didn't think they would beat the Steelers because Steelers own them. But they beat the Niners. 3-0. 3-0. And they're looking pretty good. And they got Denver and Jacksonville coming up this week. We'll see what happens. But the biggest surprise that nobody could have guessed was the Miami Dolphins. I think I was the only one that had them winning week 1. I was the only one. Other than that, I thought Oakland would have been better, and I thought the Jets were going to be better. So, 3-0 for the Dolphins. They haven't played strong teams. I think the Titans are a better team right now, but the Jets and the Raiders are not good teams. And now they play the Patriots and the Bengals on the road. I think they'll lose both of them. I really do. I think they will lose both of those games. Then you have the Bears and the Lions at home. You'll probably win those. But we'll see how it goes. That's my best of the week. We'll do one of those probably every week. The right or wrongs, we'll see how we go with those. This is a little bit of a change because I wanted to do best of the week or right or wrong. Which one do you like better? Do you like the best and worst of the weeks, or the right, where I was wrong? I kind of feel like you guys are going to say where I was wrong because something about people just enjoy watching people admit they're wrong. Which isn't surprising, but, I mean, hell, I like it too. But anyway, on the next segment, we're going to talk about the worst of the week. And there were some stinkers this week. And we're going to get into it. Stay tuned.